Good morning everyone, welcome back to Life of Ryan, and today I'm going to be helping my parents clean their gîte. So my parents have a second house on their property that they rent out along with a fishing lake to fishing guests throughout their season, but the fishing season is now closed. This is the end of the season, the work year for my parents, I guess, and they're going to close up for the winter. They stay here of course because they're already on site, but they just don't have any more guests and they can relax a little bit more. I'll show you their lovely lake again, I'll show you the gîte from the outside and a few things that they're planning to do to it to improve it, and then we'll head inside, get some cleaning done, and then we're going to have to be off back to see Billy. So here is their second house on their property. You can see the first thing that probably jumps out at you is that worn out old roof. I wouldn't really call it worn out. It does the job, but it's not aesthetically pleasing. So the next job for my parents is going to be have a new roof installed, just to make the place look much nicer. And we've already got a little friend here who's come to see us. Okay, now let's get inside. There's Coco. Hey Coco. And we do have a swimming pool, just a nice little permanent wooden one. It's not in the ground or anything, but it does do the job to escape those hot summer days. We have a lovely kind of outdoor area here, and we also have a covered area around the side there that's very big, where people can escape the heat and stay in the shade. And there is the wonderful fishing lake. Right, let's get inside.
I've seen you looking for an answer lately, so tell me something tonight. You remind me of the limelight lady. I gotta get by your side. Wanna talk, wanna know what's keeping you inside of your head. And we both been playing with smoke, but the fire's gonna get me instead. Tell me that you're feeling me and I'll do the same. Come a little closer. Tell me good night that you ain't playing a game, 'cause
We are finally back at Château de la Baminière, and the sunset this evening is simply sublime. It really is something else. You don't see it every day. The sky has this wonderful pink haze. It's about 7:30 in the evening, and I am just enjoying the beautiful colours in the sky. I'm just bringing some stuff in from my car. It was great to see my parents. I feel like it went so fast. I'm definitely going to have to head back and see them probably once a week at least, because I really do enjoy seeing them. Absolutely lovely time. But there are a few things that I actually picked up from my parents. This is what I have in my boot. Got a little bit of rubbish, got my lovely wellies, got my drone, and I picked this up from my parents today. Brand new tripod. Obviously you can't see it there, but this is really going to help me. I've got a computer screen so that I can finally see what I'm doing when I'm editing, instead of editing from the laptop screen. Thank you very much to my brother for lending me that screen. That's much appreciated. And yeah, I'm going to carry on enjoying the evening out here for a little bit, and then we'll head back inside. I will answer some questions, and then that's probably going to be it for today, because it is the weekend and I'm feeling a bit lazy. Right, see you in a little bit. It is rather late. It's already 10 PM. This video should be out by now, but it's not. So I'm gonna do this Q&A. I'm gonna answer a few of your questions, and I'm gonna speak quite softly because some people might even be sleeping by now. So, let's just crack on with it, shall we? First question. Ryan, when you're with Gwendolyn, do you speak English or French? We speak mostly English, just because her English is so good. And if there are other French people around who can't speak English, then we will speak in French for the sake of everyone to understand the conversation. When you look for a home of your own, will you look near your parents or near the Pethricks? Essentially somewhere between the two, so there are just a couple of hours drive between one another, so probably somewhere in the middle, and be around just under an hour to get to each place, because I want to be near friends, but I also want to be near family. And to be honest, driving in the French countryside is an absolute breeze. In fact, I enjoy it. There's never any traffic apart from the odd tractor, which is not a problem. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, Ryan, being that you're fluent in French and English, which language do you think in? So when you're kind of, thinking or speaking to yourself in your head. Well, I actually think in both languages. That's right, that little voice in my head speaks to me in both. Well, that sounds a bit bad. I'm not hearing voices, okay? But yes, the voice in my head is both English and French. So it depends. It depends on the situation. Depends if I'd been speaking French all day, or if I'm reading a book in French, then I'll continue to think in French afterwards. And I also dream in both English and French too. So if I'm having a dream about someone who is French, or speaking to someone in French in the dream, then obviously it's all in French, and vice versa when it comes to English. Or I can dream in both languages at the same time if there are English and French people in the dream, which is it's quite interesting actually, how the brain works. Next question. What is the internet like in rural areas of France? Is it high speed? How expensive is it? What types are available? Okay, when it comes to internet in France, for many, many years, the internet has been absolutely terrible. It's been the worst experience. The service providers have been terrible when it comes to customer care. However, they have recently been rolling out fibre optics, finally. So my parents have it and it's life-changing. You get the fastest internet I've ever had. Basically, my parents' house, which is in the middle of nowhere, now gets better speeds than many places in Paris. So that's absolutely insane, but it's brilliant. I think the price is about 50 or 55 euros per month. And yes, there is Starlink available as well, which is obviously satellite internet, and that's quite good too. So there you go. The internet's always been bad up until like a few months ago, and now it's great. Next question. How did you get the scar under your left eye? Wow, you're very observant, aren't you? I didn't notice that. I didn't know that you could see it on camera. Let me zoom in. Okay, so I do have a scar here. And for those who are extremely observant, I have a scar around here too. I think it might be that, I'm not sure. Well, let me zoom out. This is brutal. So there you go. Okay, so the scar under my left eye, I think I got it from my brother. We were playing golf with a football in the garden when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I was standing directly behind him. It was entirely my fault. So as the lump of wood, not even a golf club, as the lump of wood swung back round, it hit me there. Totally my fault. These things happen. Obviously we had to go to the emergency room, so we ran in the house and got blood coming down my face. The cat that we had at the time, her name was Lucky. We brought her over from England. Unfortunately, she brought a snake into the bathroom where my mum was trying to, stop the bleeding while she was on the phone to the hospital or the emergency services or whatever. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. There's one here that you probably can't see. Only if I frown, maybe you can see it. That happened at school when I kind of like fell and hit the corner of a bench. There you go. Thank you for that little trip down memory lane. I didn't remember that. It was still a good day though, to be honest. It was an eventful day. Nice little adventure down the hospital. Are you in the process of getting your French citizenship? And if so, when will it be official? I'd like to say yes, I am, but in fact I'm not. I do have to start that process, and it won't be official for at least 2 to 3 years. That's how long it takes to get French citizenship and become French, as it were. And that someone actually replied to that comment and said maybe dual citizenship, so I can be both British and French. And yes, that is what I would do. I have to look into it, but I would keep British citizenship and also have French citizenship too. To be honest, British citizenship used to be enough, but because of that whole Brexit thing, I feel like for me French citizenship is more valuable because I get that much wanted freedom of movement all throughout Europe, which is something I value very, very much. I love the idea of freedom of movement, and you can just move anywhere you want in Europe without any problems at all, and no visa stuff. Just go for a year, go for 6 months, go for 9 months, go for 5 years, and you never have to worry about anything. You know, the paperwork's very easy to sort out when you are in Europe, but getting in Europe and becoming European is a different thing. One more bonus question actually. Someone asked me about French accents. So accents in France, is it the same as in America or England? For example, someone with a London accent sounds completely different to someone with a Liverpool accent. Or in America, someone from New York sounds completely different as someone from Texas. So yes, in France there are many different accents too. However, I would say the biggest divide is really north and south. So when you're in the north of France, they speak, well, essentially how I speak in French, and in the south they pronounce a few things differently. Like if you say je fais la vaisselle, that's with my accent in French. In the south they would say je fais la vaisselle, je fais la vaisselle. So it's, instead of je fais la vaisselle, je fais la vaisselle. It's a little bit more, I don't know, eh becomes eh with the southern accent. That's the most obvious kind of distinction between the two, but not as much as the UK. You know, you go from one town to another and the accent's completely different. Here it's more north and south of the country. Those are the biggest differences. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna end this video now. I apologize for speaking so softly during this Q&A, but it is super late, so I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Bye bye now.
I've seen you looking for an answer lately, so tell me something tonight. You remind me of the